Hey, what's up there, roulette players? Welcome back to Casino Wars, where every day we break down real roulette strategies that you can track, test, and tweak for a smarter play at the roulette tables. And I'm your host, Lenny, and if you love seeing new ways to take on the roulette wheel, you're in the right place. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't never miss another roulette spin. If you have a system that you'd like for me to try out on the channel, please email me at LVcasino.wars@gmail.com and I'll post that right there for you. Today's challenge is, what we're doing is we're going to be playing two systems. The first system is going to be 12 column bet. We're going to pay 1 unit on the 12 column bet. And we're going to play the one that came in the least. Once we hit that, we're going to continue and we're going to put 3 units on the one that come in the furthest from that. Then, if we hit there, then we're going to go and we're going to put 9 units on the one that's the furthest away. All right, and that'll be the final spin. Once we win that, boom, we pocket that and we start back off at 1 unit at the one that came in the furthest away. Now, the thing is with this one is we're going to be watching so that we can definitely take advantage of long streaks that haven't come out in a while. So if 3 numbers that came in on the same 12 dozen, we're going to play the two opposites. The two opposites, whichever ones didn't come in, and we're going to put $100 on each. Let's make sure that we like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss another roulette strategy. Let's get right into this. I'll see you again at the closing.
The longest since it's hit was 36, 9. So we're going to go with the middle column and spin. That's a 35, that's a miss. So the longest since it's hit is still the middle column. So we just go with $1 again. It's a 0. So we go with the middle column again and spin. That's a 5. It's another miss. Okay, 1 and spin. It's a 30 red. It's another miss. We got a 1 and spin. All right, finally got it. Now the longest since it's hit, 15, 30, so it would be the first column. I'm going to go with 3 units there and spin. $29. It's a miss. So the longest since it's hit is still the first column. So we're going to start that with 1 again. Wow. And 28. Getting killed here. I don't see it. All right, finally. The longest since it's hit, I got the 6 and the 28. So the middle column, 3, and spin. Come on, we need a middle. No, we didn't get it. Alright, so the longest since it's hit, it's still the middle. So we're going with 1 unit and spin. Getting 100 bullets to try this. And that's it. Alright, so that's 1, that's a miss. So still the middle column. Alright, that's a 7, that's another miss. Wow, look at this. This is a great opportunity to try the be your own boss system. Let's try this. Spin. This is a 23. We finally got it. Bam. All right. All right, and we're going to go back to, whoops. Go back to the 1 unit on the longest since it's hit, which is 23, 7. All right, so the longest since it's hit was this column, so let's go back to that. All right, that's a 24 black. All right, so we're gonna still bet on that and spin. Longest since it's hit. All right, that's a 16. Man, still the longest since it's hit is that. $11. Wow. All right, we got 3 in a row of that one, 4 in a row in that one. So let's try this again. Oops, sorry. So we're going to play this one and then we'll play this one. Spin. That's a 0. All right, so now we're going to go up to 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and spin. That's a 33. That's a win. All right. So we're just going to play that little game in between. All right, now the longest since it's hit is 33. 0 count. 11. All right, the longest since it's hit is the middle column for $1 and spin. That's a 0. It's no good. So we're going to rebet and spin. This is 26 black. It's another loss. So still 1. Spin. It's 35. There's 2 in a row. It's actually 3 in a row. So we're going to play this other game in the meantime. 100, 100. And then we're going to place $1 that we're going to place for that game. And let's spin. All right. And that's a 5. That's a win. All right. So we're going to put $1 here. And longest hit is still the 3rd column. 2nd column, spin. So 14 red. Finally got the win. So the longest since it's hit now is this one. So we're going to put 3 here and spin. That's a 16. That's a middle column. That's 2 middle columns in a row. All right, so now we're going to go back to the one that's coming the furthest, which is still $1 here. And spin. If we get one more third column, that's a trigger for the other game. That's a 28 black. All right, we got that win. So now the longest since it's hit now is the middle, this one. So we're going to put $3 on this and spin. It's a 21 red. It's a 3. It's a 21. So that's a loss. The longest one since it's hit is still that one. And spin. And we're still looking for the $100 trigger. And that's the second one in a row. So we're still going to put 1 there and spin. All right, that's a 24. That's a third. That's a third in a row. So what we're going to do is we'll put $1 here for that game. And we're going to put 100 here and 100 here and spin. Boom, and that's a miss. So we're going to put $1 here, 100, 300, 300, and we're going to put $1 here and spin. That's a 19. That's another middle column. Wow. Wow. So we'll put 100. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to double it. And we're going to still put the $1 here. And spin. That's an 8, finally. $602 win. So now we're going to put the longest since it's hit. 8, 19, of course this one. 1, 2, $3 on this. And spin. It's a 0. It's not good for anyone. The longest since it's hit is still this one, so I'm going to spin. It's a 12. Since it's hit. Spin. 34. All right, we hit that. So now we're going to go to longest since it's hit. 1. So it's this one. 1, 2, 3. And spin. It's a 23. That's a win. All right. Now we get to play 3, 6, 9 units. And the longest since it's hit, which will be the first dozen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 units and spin. $23. That's a loss. All right. So that's 2 in a row for that one. So we're going to do the longest since it's hit. It's still there, and spin. Now if we get a second column, we're going to play the other game. That's an 11. We didn't, so we won that one. So the longest since it's hit is since it's hit. Middle column, we got the end column, the middle column. Okay, so it's this one. All right, and spin. Oh, yeah. No, that was right. And I forget. All right, so longest since it's hit. $13, $11. Okay, longest since it's hit. $1 there. Spin. There's a 2. That's now longest since it's hit. It's still $1 here. And spin. $31 black. We finally hit that. So now we're going to go longest one since it's hit. 31. 2, so it would be the middle column. 1, 2, 3, and spin. That's a 19 red. That's a hit. All right, so longest since it's hit is 19, 31. It's this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and spin. It's a 32. That's a loss. All right, so still longest since it's hit is that one, and spin. It's a 35 black. All right, and still the furthest since it's hit is that one, but we got 2 in a row there, so keep that in mind. All right, and spin. All right, that's 23. That's a middle column. So now the longest since it's hit is still that one, and spin. It's a 13. That's a middle column. That's 2 in a row. So we're going to go 1 and spin. That's an 18 red. That's another middle column. So we're going to go with the other system. Well, still keeping this, actually. Still keeping the $1 there, because it's still the longest since it's hit. And then we're going to go with $100 here, $100 here, and spin. That's a 7. That's a win. Win-win for both. All right. So now we're going to take the $1 longest since it's hit. $1 longest since it's hit. 7, 18, and it's the long one. Okay, and spin. That's a 20. That's a miss. So what we're going to do is we're going to go, still longest since it's hit would be 1, and spin. That's a 25 red. All right, got that win. Now we go $3 on the longest since it's hit, which is 25, 20. All right, which would be this. So 1, 2, 3 on that, and spin. It's a 31 black. All right, that's a miss, but that's 2 in a row for that. So keep that in mind. And we're gonna play back to $1 on that one and spin. That's a 1. That's a win. Now we're $3 on the longest since it's hit, which is the middle. 2, 3, and spin. All right, that's 32. That's not a middle. That's an end. But now we're gonna still play the middle for $1 now. Spin. All right, there's an 18. That's got the middle. Now longest since it's hit is the 1, 2, 3, the first 12. So let's spin. All right, that's a 4. That's a win. All right. Now let's see if we can do this last one. 9. All right, so the longest since it's hit will be this column here. $9 and spin. For 28, and we hit it. Nice. We completed that. So now we go back to the longest since it's hit for $1. Which is the middle column now, $1. And spin. It's a 16 red. I think we hit that. Yep. So now the longest since it's hit, 16, 28. So this one. 1, 2, 3, and spin. That's a 24 black. All right, that's the middle column again. So that's 2 middles in a row, but the longest since it's hit is still that one. So spin. And if we get a middle column, that gives us our trigger for our other game. That's a 16. There is our trigger. So we're going to put $1 still there, and then we're going to put 100 here and 100 here, and spin. And that's a 5. That's a win. So win on both games. So we're going to go with 3 units on the longest since it's hit, which is 5, 16, so it'll be here. Oops. So 1, 2, 3 units on there, and spin. And that's a 32. That's a win. So now the longest since it's hit would be 32, 5, so the middle. So we're going to go $9 in the middle. And spin. All right, that's a loss. So we're going to go the longest since it's hit, still $1 and spin. All right, that's a 14 red. All right, that's a middle. So now the longest since it's hit will be the last column. So we'll go $3 here, 3 units there, and spin. All right, that's a 34 red. That's a hit. So now we're going to go 9 units to the longest since it's hit, which is 1 through 12. Yep. Nine units and spin. That's a 29. That's a loss. Now we got 2 of those in a row. And we're still going to go $1 here and spin. And that's a 2. We got the win. So the longest since it's hit now is the middle column. So 1, 2, 3, and spin. That's a 20. That's a win. So now we move up the ladder to the last one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 units in the spin. Let's get a high number. It's a 24. That's a middle number. No good. But we got 2 middle numbers in a row now. So the longest since it's hit is this one. 1 and spin. And that's a 34. That's a high number. So we're going to go 1 number in here and spin. All right, that's a 36 red. All right, that's another high number. Let's see if we can get one more high number. Rebat and spin. Let's see if we get another high number to get our trigger. And that's a 30. We got another high number. That's our trigger. So we're going to get 100. 100 on that one, 100 on that one, and the $1 extra on that for the other game. And spin. And that's a 31. That's a loss. All right. So we're going to rebat. And we're going to rebat 100, 100. Hmm. 100, 100. Clear out. All right, there's 300 on each. Okay, that's what we want. Spin. And that's a 0. Ouch. So we're gonna rebat. And we're gonna put 1, 2, 3, 4. Spin. It's a 24 black. That's a win. All right. So we're gonna rebat. No, we're not gonna rebat. Now we're gonna go with just $1 on. Just $1 on the last one to hit. Still this one. Whoops. Back to $1. Let's spin. We got $382 now. It's an 11. We hit the first column. So we're going to rebat. No, we're not going to rebat. Sorry, we're going to put $3 on the last one to hit. The first one to hit, which was 11, 24. So it'll be this one. $2, $3 and spin. It's a 30. That's a win. All right. right, so the longest one since it's hit now is the middle. We're going to put 9 units on the middle. And spin. And that's a 29 black. That's a loss. So we got 2 trigger, 2. We just need 1 more for the other trigger. So the longest one is still $1 in the middle and spin. That's a 21. It's a middle. That's a win for me. All right, so we're going to go 3 units on one that's coming. It will be the first 3. 1, 2, 3, and spin. That's a 6. We got the win. Now we're going to go 9 units on the longest one since it's hit, which is now is this one. Spin. All right. That's a 32 red. That's a win. All right, awesome. All right, so now we go back to $1 on the longest one that's hit. Which is the middle column, 1, and spin. That's an 8 black. All right, that's a loss. So still the longest one since it's hit is the middle. All right, that's a 32 red. All right, that's a 32 red. So that's a loss. So we're going to go 1 and spin. Still don't have any triggers for the next game. It's an 11. All right, that's a loss again. Go 1 and spin. And it's a 20. We finally got our win. So we're going to go 3 units to the longest since it's hit, which is this one. 1, 2, 3, and spin. All right, that's a 28. That's a win. Now we're going to go 9 units. We're going to go 9 units to the longest since it's hit, which is 28, 20. So it would be this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 units, and spin. That's a 7. That's a win. All right, we got it. All right, so we're going to go back to 1 unit on the longest since it's hit, which is the middle column, 1, and spin. And that's a 3 red. All right, that's almost a trigger for us on the other game. So we're going to go still 1 and spin. Let's see if we get our trigger. And we did not, but we did get the win here. So we're going to go to 3 units on 3 units on the 3 units on the third dozen, and spin. It's a 36 red. That's a win. So now we're going to go 9 units on this one. Spin. All right, and that's a 10. That's a win. All right, we got it again. All right, so we're going to go back to 1 unit on the longest since it's hit, which is middle column and spin. It's a 30. All right, that's a loss, so we're going to go 1 again and spin. That's a 9, that's a miss. Go 1 again and spin. It's a 30. Back to that again. All right, so we got 1 unit and spin. Let's just get this up to 500, that's it. And we're not going to let ourselves go lower than 300. Okay. All right, so that's a 35. We got a 30. Okay, we still got this one since the longest it's hit. And 30. One more and we'll get a trigger. One more in that high column and we'll get that trigger. All right, that's a 20. All right, we got that win. So now we're going to go $3. $3 on the longest since it's hit, which would be the first 9, 3, and spin. All right, that's a 0. That's not good for anyone. All right, so we're still on $1 there and spin. And that's an 8. We got that win. So we're going to go 3 since the longest since it's hit, which would be the high side now. And spin. It's a 2. That's no good. All right, we might have a trigger happening soon, but for now we're just going to play that and spin. And that's a 30. All right, we didn't get the trigger, but we got the win. So the longest one since it's hit is this one. So we're going to go 3 and spin. And that's a 27. That's not good. But we might have a trigger. So we're going to go 1 in the middle and spin. We might get a trigger. All right, that's a 13 red, 13 black. That's a win for us. So 3 units on longest since it's hit. This one. 3 and spin. All right, that's a 32. That is a loss. So we'll go 1 unit and spin. So 5. All right, and we're gonna rebet on let's see, 5, 32. Did we just get a win? Yeah, we did. So we gotta go without spinning. Gotta go without betting. Because it froze up on me. So longer since it's hit, just back to 1 and spin. $25. All right, that's a win. So we go 3 units on the longest since it's hit, which was this one. 1, 2, 3, and spin. It's an 18 red. All right, so we still got 1 here and spin. And it's a 36 red. All right, so longest since it's hit is still the middle one. There's still the first 12, so spin. All right, that's a 20. It's a middle. So still the longest since it's hit is that one. And that's a 4. That's a hit. So now we're going to go 3 on the longest since it's hit, which is down here. All right, and spin. All right, that's a 28. That's a win. All right, so the longest since it's hit is the middle now. So we're going to go 9 units in the middle. And spin. That's a 26. That's a loss. And we're getting close to a trigger again. So the longest since it's hit is still the middle. And spin. Alright, and that's a 31. That's a win. Alright, that's not a win, but that's a trigger. Alright, so now we got 400. So 100 and 100 bring us down to 200. So we said we didn't want to go back past 300. So what we're going to do is we're going to put 50. We're only going to put 50 on this one and 50 on this one because we don't want to go under 200. We didn't want to go under 300, right? All right, that's a 32. That's a loss. So let's see, where are we at? Now we're at 300. All right. So we said we didn't want to go home with less than 300, right? Or was it 200? If it's... All right, it doesn't matter anyway. You still have to go another 50. It would have to be 100 and 100. Yeah, it doesn't matter. So we're going home with 344 units playing this system. And thank you. And don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. And leave that comment on what you think about this game. And also don't forget to write us if you have any system at LVcasino.wars at gmail.com. Thank you, and I'll see you on the closing.
All right there, roulette players. So that was a good session. We did go walk off with 344 units. I set my evaluation point at 300. So we definitely did very well for the casino, and that is thanks to that strategy that I've seen on the Roulette Master, and he called himself he hates his boss and he wanted to make a living in the casinos. And that's what he does. He waits for that third trigger and then he goes from there. Now, that's a great strategy to wait those 3 triggers for that trigger. It's awesome, and he did very well. We did very well, and thanks to that. But the other system, I don't know how it would have panned out if it was just that system. However, we did well. All right, and just don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and please leave a comment below what you think of this video. And thank you.